Hi, my name is Maya Moultrie, and I did my project arguing that death row inmates should be used for medical testing.
Medical testing has been practiced on humans and animals for ages. Due to rules and regulations, medical testing is now only allowed on animals, but the testing on animals has not brought the United States any cures or efficient medication. For that reason, the idea that testing on death row inmates should be allowed has been proposed.
More than 3,200 inmates in 36 states are awaiting execution. The U.S. government and U.S. military also have approximately 67 people awaiting execution, according to Statistic Brain. People could save their time, effort, and money by allowing death row inmates to be used for medical testing. The average cost of a death penalty case is $2.4 million. Testing on the inmates would improve test results tremendously because instead of testing on animals with different chemical and physical components, they would be testing on humans, which the medicine is being designed for. Each year, more than 100 million animals, including mice, rats, frogs, dogs, cats, rabbits, hamsters, guinea pigs, monkeys, fish, and birds, are killed in U.S. laboratories. They are used for biology lessons, medical training, useless experiments, and chemical, drug, food, and cosmetics testing. Before their deaths, some animals are forced to inhale toxic fumes, while others are immobilized and psychologically traumatized. Animals who are used in experiments are treated like nothing more than disposable laboratory equipment. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has stated, currently 9 out of 10 experimental drugs fail in clinical studies because we cannot accurately predict how they will behave in people based on laboratory and animal studies. Testing on animals is pointless because animals and humans are a different species. There is no way to make sure it will work unless it's actually tested on a human. If the government expects scientists to be successful, they will stop using animals and alternatively test on human beings. Medication that has been made based on animal testing has brought few advancements to the medical world. Scientists have tried numerous times to produce a successful medication for various diseases. For example, according to former National Cancer Institute Director Dr. Richard Klausner, we have cured mice of cancer for decades and it simply didn't work in humans. We need to refocus and adapt new methodologies for use in humans to understand disease biology in humans. In one case, there was an AIDS vaccine that worked well on monkeys but failed in human clinical trials. Some believe that it made them more vulnerable to the disease. According to a report in the British newspaper The Independent, one conclusion from the failed study was that testing HIV vaccines on monkeys before they are used on humans does not in fact work. Scientists cannot know for sure how the vaccine will affect a human because they are a different species. Hakam and Radomir, 2 doctors involved in clinical studies, claim patients and physicians should remain cautious about extrapolating the finding of prominent animal research to the care of human disease. Poor application of even high-quality animal studies should be expected by those who conduct clinical research. It can potentially be dangerous to use medication on humans that was created based off of animal test results. The state governments are wasting millions of dollars on killing death row inmates who can instead be used to protect millions of people. In each state, tax dollars are going towards death penalty cases. Taxpayers pay for the trials, housing, death, etc. Michael Kiefer studied the cost of a select few of Arizona death row cases. One of the cases he studied was of Jeffrey Martinson, who was convicted in 2011 of killing his 5-year-old son. The case so far has cost taxpayers $3.67 million. A capital trial that ends in a death sentence costs an average of $1,066,187 to defend. These figures do not include the defense costs of cases that go on to a federal court, as most death sentences cases eventually do. Taxpayers paid all that money towards a case that was still being worked on. Most Arizona taxpayers do not know that their money is going towards death penalty cases until a majority of them are completed, if at all. For these reasons, the Arizona state government should consider options other than the death penalty, like using death row inmates as test subjects for medical research. Inmates all over the world are dying every day from disease, overdose, suicide, and homicide. If they were given the chance to focus on a greater purpose, some of these death rates could sink. A 9-month investigation by Insight has found that during the last decade, at least 188 men and women died of drug overdose in state prisons. This number keeps rising higher and higher as the prison populations increase. Medical testing could be the objective that gives inmates a purpose that could potentially improve the country and be the start to lowering the death rates in prison. If the government allowed death row inmates to be used for medical testing, the whole medical industry would improve and innocent animals would be left unharmed. Millions of dollars of legal fees would be eliminated and could go towards these medical trials. Doctors could potentially find cures to devastating diseases and find more efficient medication to give to their patients. Bassioni says, the influence of human experimentation permeates not only medicine and the other biological sciences, but also behavioral, sociological, political, economical, and military endeavors. Medical testing on humans can be helpful for multiple fields in the work industry. With that being said, death row inmates would be beneficial toward the advancement of medication.